Uh, I'm an addict named Grover, and I live with the disease of addiction on a daily basis. I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts. I was born in Holyoke, and my earliest days and that I remember about my addiction was when I was about 8 years old. I didn't come from a dysfunctional family. My mother and father both worked two jobs. They taught me about the values of don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat. Okay? Drugs started at 11 years old for me, which was wine, marijuana, the regular stuff, right? But what happened was I always had this fight, man. I remember being called Bug when I was a kid, right? And so I made them call me Junebug, right? I'm talking about I was always fighting the system, man. I was always fighting, and like I said, I was a popular kid, all right? But so what I'm saying to you is that I had this thing that I had to make you like me, right? So my grandmother, man, raised me and spoiled me and stuff. And I remember used to bring in when the 50-cent pieces was, when in the 50s, right? And I used to bring like 25, 30, 50-cent pieces with me to school. And I would give them away to kids just so they would like me, right? I always wanted somebody to like me. I always wanted, because I was the oldest, And I remember when my sister was born, right? I had a brother that was 8 years younger than me, and my sister was 14 years younger than me. And I remember when she was born, and I had to babysit them. And remember now, I ain't about responsibility, right? So when I used to have to watch my brother and sisters, I remember I used to taking my brother, and I used to tie him to a tree. Now I lived in the suburbs, and they had a lot of squirrels and a lot of dogs, right? And a lot of dogs, right? And I remember tying him to this tree because he couldn't run as fast as us because we used to go steal bikes and stuff. But to make a long story short, in 1990, January 17, 1990 is my clean date. All right? I was asked to leave Massachusetts. Okay? And so the only place that would take me was the Stratton VA Hospital because in my years of being in the service, I had messed around and got honorable discharge. And the only reason I got that was because my mother was afraid I was going to die in the street. She signed me in the service at 17. This is when you didn't need a high school diploma. All right, so now I'm in recovery. I'm in Albany. I don't know anybody, right? I've been taken away from Massachusetts a number of times. Reform schools, detention centers, TCs. Back in the 70s and 80s, we had TCs. They would send you away for 18 months, and all I would do was just wait for 18 months. And the day I got out, how I was gonna get high, right? You know what I mean? Because my thinking is always, like they said, when your thinking is, almost killed me, right? So I stayed, and I had some great sponsors in my life. So what I'm saying to you now is that recovery for me was finding out who God wanted me to be at all times. See, I just got through doing 11 step in my recovery, right? And it talked about my wants and my needs is only a fleeting glimpse of what God wants from me. And I truly believe that today. When I came into this process, I found out I was HIV positive, right? And I wanted to take myself out that way, but God has kept me. See, I'm truly blessed to have it. You understand? Because, see, it makes me take care of myself. It makes me sleep 8 hours a day. It cuts down a lot of behaviors, okay? When people know this about you, right? It cuts out a lot of behaviors, right? And I'm so blessed, man, that the only people that I have around me is people that wants to give me unconditional love, right? Because a lot of people didn't know about that. But I'm going to shorten up here because I'm an old man. I'm 60 years old. But 14 years ago, I met a brother, Monroe Parrott, and we were talking because, I have done some things in this program. I have got my KSAC, okay? And he told me that I could work for the penitentiary. I said, what? Me work for the state? I didn't think I had a chance to work for the state, no way. But he got me a job, right? And what we at? Hell Creek. And Hell Creek, what that taught me was, I remember the first day going for the interview, and I stopped at the stewards, and I said a prayer, and I said, God, whatever you do, don't let these people find out I got an old warrant somewhere, right? Because, no, serious. See, because I had a query from Massachusetts, 9 pages long, right? And so what I'm trying to tell you now is that I have found some things out about myself, right? Now, don't get it twisted now. You can carry this message, right, without even saying a word. Because somebody told me when I first came around, said, you know what? You may be somebody's second step one day. All right? And so that's what I live for. See, I got 3 kids that have no addiction. They're grown now, but I got 3 grandkids that one of them, she's only 5 years old, and I can swear I'm going to need to bail her out in 2 years. Right? So I want these doors to be open, and that's why I come to meetings on a regular basis. That's why I continue to do service. I give back every day, right? And I am so blessed. I am blessed to have living a life of life terms. Now, is everything rosy all the time? No, right? I'm going to say this in closing. I asked God about 6 months ago to put somebody special into my life. He gave me 3 sponsees, right? 3 sponsees, right? Right? And my daughter's husband went to prison from 4 to 6. So I got 3 sponsees, 3 grandkids to look over now, and I am truly blessed to have the opportunity to do something for someone else. I'm an addict named Grover, and I live with the disease of addiction on a daily basis. Thank you.